Hello everybody, it's Rob with R3 Shorts here with our first update video since releasing the monumental benchmark that is Book 5, Marco's book. It's been a long road for us, and I always knew I wanted to do the first 5. Even though Axe has a book later on that he narrates, I figured the 5 was a good standard. And I wanted to spur everybody on the YouTube community to either discover for the first time or rediscover, after a long time, a possible love for the lore and the world building that K.A. Applegate had done in this universe of Animorphs. And I think that with what we've done, we've accomplished that pretty single-handedly, and I'm very proud of the work that we've done. Stay tuned, we've got a pretty beefy update video here, at least in my opinion, so let's get started. First, let's get the most wonderful part out of the way. 1,000 subscribers. Holy cow. When we started this, we really didn't think that this channel would gain any sort of traction. We started with about 30 subscribers. We had released several episodes of our video game comedy series Control Freaks, which is still available on the channel, by the way. And friends and family had viewed it. You know how it is. So that's where those 30 subscribers were pretty much. And then within the first month after the first audiobook was released for The Invasion back in 2018, we went from 30 to 90 subscribers, and we were like, wait, hey. So that's amazing, and now we're at 1,000 subscribers, so we thought, hey, let's finally ask YouTube if we're allowed to monetize our content now. We learned a little bit in doing so. So we were declined for monetization. And it's not for the reason you think. It's not because we are using the intellectual property of Animorphs. It's not even because of the copyrighted music that I use at the end of each audiobook, because that's somebody else's song. And so, it's actually because of our compilations of dub smashes. We have an entire playlist that you can check out of ourselves and our friends doing dub smashes using the app on our iPhones, and we're not really motivated to remove that from our channel. We love doing it, and it's a way to keep our local circle of friends involved in our channel and just having fun. And so YouTube's like, no, you're doing a compilation of videos that you imported from another social media source, so you are not qualified, not eligible for monetization. And we're sitting here like, that's fine, because we're not focused on becoming big name YouTubers. And if you think about it, not being monetized, not relying on an audience to grow and grow and grow and give us ad revenue allows us freedom to continue to do the projects that we like. Yes, we still want to do the audiobooks. This is not going to be a bait and switch where we get to book 5 and then just stop. But we have other passions in relation to R3 Shorts. We have other things we want to show you. We have the video game comedy series Control Freaks. We have little skits here and there that we do. Ruth did a wonderful animated short called The Admiral and the Advocate. We just recently did a sea shanty, our very first musical number, Randy Dandio, and we strongly encourage you to share that with everybody you know, even if they don't like sea shanties, because it could help the visibility of the channel and get the momentum going for even more audiobooks. So even though we are not monetizing our content still, we are not putting the ads on those audiobooks. It's YouTube, and that's their new policy. If they think that they can get ad revenue from something, they're just going to put an ad on it, and we don't agree with it because we think it interrupts the flow of the audiobook, especially those of you who like listen to the audiobook in the background while you're at work or something like that, and you've got the YouTube app open on your phone or something. All of a sudden you hear an ad between 2 chapters. You're like, wait, what the heck, R3 Shorts? It's not us. Besides, if anybody's going to get a little bit frustrated with ads being run on the audiobooks, it's going to be Scholastic. And so that's not our beef at all. So we will continue to do the audiobooks and let Scholastic and YouTube battle it out. Let me reiterate, we are completely planning on continuing this audiobook series and going along to book 6. However, before we do, a few things are going to be taken care of first. First and foremost, we are getting ready to welcome our next addition to the family, our 3rd child, in July of 2021. We are so excited. We have been keeping it on the down low, from social media, random friends and family. We just wanted to enjoy this pregnancy period on our own. So we're stoked about it. And so our new baby girl is going to be taking a lot of our attention for the next 8 weeks or so, at least, before we get back into a groove of, okay, all right, now how do we do this with 3 kids, So we're just so excited for that. So we're going to take a well-deserved break to give her all the attention she needs when she gets here. It's a really solid belief of ours that family comes before the channel. So if there's anything going on in this house that involves myself, Ruth, our kids, and it's extremely important, the channel completely takes a back seat and everything comes to a halt so that we can take care of family first. Secondly, we're going to be releasing another sea shanty before we do book 6. And I just loved what happened with Randy Dandio. I loved what we were able to crank out. I loved the vibe of it. I loved performing it. I loved mixing it, singing it, everything. And Ruth had a lot of fun green screening a whole bunch of me's together. And just the theatricality of it was a lot of fun to do. And so I was bit by the bug of doing that, and I've decided to do it again. We've decided to do it again. We're going for a completely different tone with this next one. And I don't think it could be any more opposite from the tone and the look and the feel of Randy Dandio. But it's still a sea shanty. It's still the same kind of genre. It's just going to be darker, much darker, but still fun. So that is going to happen first before book 6. I've already recorded most of the tracks for this song. We are in pre-production to try and figure out the blocking and the shots for exactly what we want to do in filming it. It's not going to be a whole bunch of me's green screen in the frame for this. It's actually going to be storytelling. There's going to be many different elements put in there. We're going to create an environment and create a feel and a story. And so, yeah, it's going to take a lot of pre-production, almost as much as an episode of our Control Freak show called Devs of Future Past. Check that out. That was a big budget thing for us. And so this next sea shanty is kind of going to be on par with that. If not financially, then at least the artistic effort that is going to be involved. And I'm very stoked for that. The other reason that we're doing this second sea shanty first is because I've got it in mind that, yes, our main audience is coming to R3 Shorts for the audiobooks. And that's great, but I also want to show them what we can do from our own creativity. And so the only thing that comes to mind comparatively is one of my favorite musical artists, Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic, since the early 1980s, when he got his start, he has been constructing his albums alternating between his parodies, which made him famous, and his original songs. So on every single CD that you would buy, you would see track 1 parody, track 2 original, track 3 parody, track 4 original, etc. That's how he always did it. And we kind of want to do the same thing with our channel. We kind of want to go audiobook, original, which could be a sea shanty. Audiobook, skit, could be Control Freaks, could be an animated short, could be whatever we want. Stop motion, who cares? Update videos don't count. And so just alternating between an audiobook, which is what everybody loves, and then a piece of who we are as a married couple that just loves film. And so that's kind of how we're going to do it moving forward, if we can help it. We have several original projects in the pipeline, and yet absolutely no idea how we're going to make them. So it's going to be fun moving forward. Another thing we're going to do, I have yet to decide whether or not this is going to be before or after the release of book 6, but definitely before book 7. We will be doing a part 2 of our previous Behind the Voices video. It might be a little bit more difficult to find within our channel, but we encourage you to go watch it. It's not part of a playlist. It's just called Animorphs Behind the Voices. And I go into detail as to how I came up with the voices for the Animorphs, how I came up with the voice for Visser 3 and other characters like that. And because I'm OCD, I like looking for patterns. Well, the first Behind the Voices video came out between book 3 and 4. So it was like 3 audiobooks, then a Behind the Voices. So I'm kind of thinking the same thing here. 3 audiobooks, then a Behind the Voices. So 6 would be a great interval to do another one. And there's quite a few new voices. And I would hate to do a Behind the Voices part 2 right before I come out with a wonderful voice for book 6 that I am really excited for all of you to hear. Wink. So that's going to be another project in the pipeline pretty soon. And so, again, please look up the first Behind the Voices video. I think you'll find it very, very educational as far as a glimpse into Rob's mind as to how I come up with the voices. And hopefully you don't think I'm just pulling random cartoony voices out of thin air, that there's a method to the madness. I hope. Also, real world stuff. I'm still working IT at that very, very famous company that everybody knows about. And I'm trying to find the next step in the career path. I'm looking for a promotion in one of 2 sides to the coin. The first side being IT, second side being programming. Programming is something I'm a little bit more passionate about. I'm more of a white-collar digital guy compared to the blue-collar physical side of things. So IT is more physical. It's more walking around the building, getting sweaty, fixing people's stuff, pulling things out and lifting heavy objects, and I can do it. I just don't like it. And so I thrive in the virtual space, you know, performance, mixing, editing, programming, writing Word documents, things like that. So programming, right up my alley. So I'm looking at opportunities within the company in both those fields, just to spread the talent pool out there and not put all my eggs in one basket and do what's best for the family. So that being said, it will take studying to increase my knowledge of both IT and programming. And just like family, work comes before the channel. Work comes before R3 Shorts because I need to do what's best for income for my family. And I know that all of you will understand because I have bills. And finally, another big thing that we're doing before the release of the next audiobook, it's so crucial. We are swapping our studio room right here with our guest room across the hall in our home. This studio has been an amazing resource for us. It's just another bedroom. We're facing a closet right now with insulation and computers and all that stuff. And it's been amazing for what we've wanted to achieve. But the further and further that we've gone with this channel, and the more we've grown, the more I've learned about editing and mixing and the best way to record a performance in general before you even get into the post-production of fixing the audio, the more we realize that this is not the ideal space for a few reasons, and let me go into those right now. So without giving you an unofficial private tour of our home, I just want to say that this room is both right underneath the kids' bedroom and it is facing the neighborhood street. So it suffers from both thumping footsteps directly above me while I'm trying to record, and children's voices and whatnot, while also suffering from any engines from vehicles outside, or lawnmowers, or dogs, cats, kids playing basketball, whatever else you can imagine in a neighborhood. This is not a metropolitan area, yet life happens. People are allowed to go outside and make whatever natural noise they do, and we pick it up. So even when I'm recording in the middle of night and I have the sound curtain around me, which I'll get into more in a second, and I've done everything I can to prevent excess noise getting into the recording. When it gets hot, we have a fan going for our kids that's very loud, and it just hums through the walls, and the vibration comes into the desk and into the mic. Science is awesome. And if the kids are in their bed and they just shift, and maybe they knock a stuffed animal or a toy of some kind or a blanket onto the floor, I hear it. I pick it up on this mic. This is a very good mic, which, by the way, one or two of you helped donate money to get. And so the equipment is fantastic, but there is still artistic things that need to happen to make sure that excess noise does not get onto the recording. The equipment is not the catch-all. And unlike every CSI show you've ever seen, there is no magic button to remove all the excess noise. Gosh, that's annoying. Another reason we're going to swap the rooms and put the studio behind me across the hall is because Ruth is constructing basically a 2.0 version of the R3 Shorts mixing desk. This thing has been amazing, but she's outdone herself. And she's created a 2-floor kind of system where the computer and the keyboard and the mouse and everything is going to be down there where it normally is. But the mic is going to be up at standing height. The mic will also be surrounded by an amazing insulation shield that one of you anonymously donated via our studio registry through Amazon.com. And we don't know who you are, but thank you so much. We will be using it and books 6 and beyond. And every other project that we do will be amazing thanks to you. Sincerely, thank you. In a nutshell, the mic being at mouth level when I'm standing helps prevent extra white noise from the iMac. Another thing we're going to do in swapping rooms is separate 2 different setups. If you might have noticed, there's an iMac here, but then there's another monitor here. This is for a gaming PC that is underneath this desk. And the gaming PC was used to record the first 2 audiobooks. You can tell. So this monitor and the PC and everything being included with the iMac setup, it was basically an attempt to condense space at the time and kill a million birds with one nuke, and just try and do 2 channels at the same time in the same space. I have another channel that I'm going to plug. It's called DorianVey, and in it I do video game playthroughs. I've done Heroes of the Storm, I've done Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, Lego games, still family-friendly content as best I can help. You know, I'm not responsible for the online interactions of other people, but we drop a green screen behind me in this space when I'm not doing the mixing for the audiobooks. And then this mic gets moved away and I put on this headset and I'm still sitting in the same chair. And, you know, the camera's right here and, you know, it's your basic video for streaming or just recording. And that's the channel that I like to do on the side. It's extremely small at the time of this recording. I have only like 30 subscribers. So again, it's a plug. Go and subscribe to it if you're into video games. But what I wanted to do what we wanted to do was separate these two setups. And that's what's going to happen. So when we move over to the new room, the entire closet space of the new room is going to be devoted solely to R3 Shorts editing and mixing for those projects, and the microphone and recording. And then at a separate desk elsewhere, we're going to have the green screen and the stuff for my DorianVey channel for the video gaming. But we don't want to split attention between those two things in the same space. Because one of the things that happens, you can probably notice, is elementary lesson in sound here. When I am recording an audiobook, I have the second monitor here, no matter what height it's at. And when I speak into the mic, the sound goes out into this closet space, but it bounces off this monitor and it adds a tiny little bit of reverb. So I need to drape a towel over it or something like that. And it's a little bit of a hassle. And so, yes, the mic shield that was donated will help mitigate that. But a new closet space and the elimination of an extra monitor that has nothing to do with mixing is heavily needed. So that's something that we're going to do, is basically split the workspace for my two channels. So in complete recap and summary, we're going to be expecting our third child real soon. So everything's going to be on a temporary full stop while we take care of our new baby girl. We're going to be finishing up our last project in this studio, that next sea shanty, which, by the way, please like and share around the Randy Dandio sea shanty. That's a tongue twister. Please share it around as much as you can. Help us gain traction on that and views on that. Then maybe other people will see what else we do, and they'll see the Animorphs audiobook, and the community will grow. And then the audiobook for book 6, The Capture, is going to be the first project that we record from scratch and mix and edit and animate and finalize from that new studio across the hall, and separate the gaming setup for the DorianVey channel, link in the description down below, and the mixing for the R3 Shorts channel, just to make both channels more refined and focused on their single purpose rather than having to share space. Again, like and subscribe. Please share this video with everybody that you can. Get other people interested in the Animorphs audiobooks. Help the channel grow. And on your spare time, go ahead and pester Scholastic more and more to have us try and do official audiobooks on the side in some capacity or other, because we don't need a restraining order against us. They know that we really want to do it. We've had our season in pestering them, and we've received our answer from them directly, and we will let that go. But there is nothing keeping you guys from voicing your opinions. So thank you so much for your continued support, and we look forward to seeing what the good Lord has in store for us in the years to come. This is Rob signing off. Have a great rest of your year.